Hi, I'm Debbie Cronister. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I'm here today to show you how to make this adorable card. It's just so cute. It's an expanding step card is what it's called, and it just opens up like that, and it's just adorable. So we're going to get started. We're using the new Violet's, what's it called? Violet Dreams Designer Series paper, and the stamp set that coordinates with that. So let's get started. Let me open up my packet here. I got a packet just like you guys. Okay, so this card is really basic for cutting. You're going to cut. You're going to cut this, and I left it for you to do. And you can see that afterwards, when I did it with a group, it was interesting because they said, "Why didn't you just cut that, Deb?" You're going to cut it, and can you guys see it? I know it's on this dark secret sea. Let me grab my ruler. This is how you're going to cut it. You're going to cut from this. So what I did is I cut in here for you to start you. And then you're going to cut from there to there. You're going to cut straight across this one. And then you're going to cut from here to there. So someone said to me, "Why didn't you just cut it at 3/4?" Which is what this is. This is 1.5, and this is 3/4 inch. And now that I look at that, I could, but yours is like this. So you're going to need a pair of paper snips or scissors, and you're just going to go in here. You're going to cut up to that next score line, both the ends, this side, this way and that way. Then you're going to cut across the score line, and then you're going to cut up to the corner. Just like that. So that's what you're going to end up with. Okay. Okay. Then you're going to, when you fold it, it's going to fold over, back. You're just going to fold it back and forth. And that's what you're going to end up with right there. Now for this card, it's easiest to start your panels, work from the back forward. So I'm going to do as I did before. I'm going to turn this over. This is what I do when I'm packing it, when I'm unpacking it. When I pack my cards, I pack according to layers. So this layer on top, this is your miscellaneous things that are in there. This layer is for an image, the image that's going to be stamped. Okay. The rest of them are going to layer together on this card. So we're going to turn it over. We have a white layer. And this one is going to be our designer series paper on the other side. And there we are. There's our other side. Let's move that up a little bit. So I'm still on camera. Nothing worse than doing a video and not being on camera, because you don't know until you're all done. Okay. And then this is going to go inside my card. So I can go ahead and put this inside my card. And like I said, it's easier to work from the bottom up with this card. So let's put it inside our card base, which is right here. And we're just going to leave 1/8 of an inch all the way around. Now, this next layer, not that one, that's for our stamping. This layer is going to go right in here. So actually, we could go ahead and put that in. Just be careful, because you don't want it to show. So it has to be below this line. That's the biggest thing, is that it's below that line. And that's this line right here. So I'm good. Just centering it in there will probably be just fine. Okay. And then we have some bling that's going to go, some little accents, but we can do those later. Okay. So the next layer has a blue. So this one didn't have a blue layer, but this one does. It's going to go right in here. But let's put our layer together first. Okay, so we're going to attach that to there. And then we're going to attach this. And I want to make sure it's going right side up. And it's just going to be a little tiny edge. Okay, now this is going to go on here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some glue right on here. Am I running out of glue in here? But I'm just stick it in my holder so it comes down. And I'm just going to line that up top and bottom. So that should line up perfectly with the top and bottom of your card. Okay, so that's your middle layer. Then we're going to do the top layer. And put our white in there. Just like that. And then we're going to add this to it. We're going to add our glue to here. And this should line up perfectly with this layer. Whoops, let's get it on there. I am not putting it on for some reason. There we go. So you want this underneath to line up with this panel. And that is the card. I mean, that's so super simple. Once you get your things cut. Okay, we have a little tag in here. And I am using, let's see, where did this come from? I appreciate you. Front panel. I'm hoping it says it in my, so we use the frame violets. And I think that's where it came from. Yeah. So I am using this, and I'm going to use Secret C to stamp this greeting. Just test it out, make sure there's nothing on it. I have done that and then just inked it again and had one of those crazy little dimensional covers on it. That's very frustrating because I had such a perfect inking on the dimensional cover. Okay. Oh, that's pretty. Okay. Let's close this up. And this is going to get attached to this blue. Now, this blue is not long enough for it, basically, but it's perfect. Whoops, I probably shouldn't have done that. I should have put my adhesive on the back of my white. But it's what I wanted. It's like a 1/2 inch shorter. So it just gives a little accent on the back of it. But there's no having to cut it or figure out or anything. It's just super simple, 2 little pieces of paper. And that's going to go there. But we're not ready for that because in that packet is this piece of white, which we are going to stamp this from Framed Violets. This is such a pretty little stamp. If you don't have it, you're going to want it. And if you, or you can use something else that you have. You don't have to use this. Just stay with the same colors, I would say. Oh, it didn't work. Okay, I'm having a little problem with this stamp. So I'm going to show you something, a trick. Let me get another piece of white because I am going to color that with Stampin' Blends, and I don't want it to bleed through. And let me get a special pad. Okay, let's get another piece of white. See if I have a scrap in here. I always have scraps of white, right? I just can't get them out of the box. Okay, here we go. This one's much bigger, but that's okay. We'll use part of it. Because of coloring that with the Stampin' Blends, if I turn it over and then I color, the black bleeds through. So I don't want to do that. So I have our Stampin' Pierce mat here, and I'm going to use that to see if this works better. Okay. And I'm going to ink it this way. So I'm doing ink to stamp. So whenever you have a problem with a stamp, go ink to stamp. So now I can see it's well inked, and turn it over. And you want to let the ink soak into the paper. So it's better to just take your time stamping, let it soak in, pull it out, and you should get a perfect image. And I didn't. You can see my leaf here didn't get inked. We're going to turn this around. Third time's the charm, right? I don't think that was the ink or the stamp. I think that was me. I think that was user error. Okay, let's get it inked all the way over. All the way. Okay. Ooh, I got it inked enough that it went off up onto the block. Okay, let's do it again. Sometimes I'll huff on it. It just kind of puts a little bit more moisture in it. Okay, so we should be good. We are good. Perfect. Good job. All right, now I'm going to quickly color this. I'm using Highland Heather Light. So if you're doing it with me, we'll take a few minutes here and color. And if you're not, you can fast forward this video and just move on. Oops, right? Oh, I could take it off the bat. We don't want it to bleed through onto that. I am using the rounded tip instead of the brush tip. I love the brush tip, but I also know that I wear them out. So, and I can't color fast with the brush tip for some reason. It doesn't work for me. I end up outside the lines all over the place. Okay. Now, if you wanted, you could go back and highlight that with some darker colors. This is not going to work. This is Peaceful Pine. And there's another reason I wouldn't color with that tip. It will bleed out. The brush tip has a tendency to bleed out more. So when I'm doing anything small, anything delicate that I want to stay in the lines really bad, I will use the brush tip. Now, for this, and I'm using Peaceful Pine Light, I think. Yeah. Love this new color. With this, I'm okay with it bleeding out because it's going to bleed out within the area that I want. I'm just going to go a little short. I just come in a little short of the edge. So if it bleeds out, it goes where I want. And like I said, you could add some darkness to this for shading. Just use the darker of the same thing. I used Highland Heather on the flowers. Peaceful Pine here. Okay. All right. let's do some die cutting. I'm going to run over to the die cut machine and cut this out. There is a die that will cut it exactly. So quickly die cut that. And this is one I would use a little bit of tape on, just to hold it a little bit in place, because I don't want it to mess up now that I've spent all that time coloring. So just putting a little tape on it will help hold it in place. And okay, die cut that. Okay. Oops, there's my tape. We'll hang on to that. And this die has a tendency to save this portion. It was already in there. Okay, hold on. Okay, so let's put that away. We're going to need that later. Okay, so we have our little flower here. So I'm going to attach my flower right here. I'm going to put glue. And on the back of the tips of the leaves, I'm going to put glue. And I am going to attach this across the front of there and let my little leaves come down so they're hanging over. And I want that to dry before I put it on. So it's attached in the back to here and in the front to that little grating. Okay, put the lid on this before it dries out. All right, so then I'm just going to go ahead and add, I should have some bling, shouldn't I? I should. Where'd I lose my little bag? I have too many little bags here. Oh, there it is, right there. I have a couple of pearls. I have another piece of bling here that doesn't belong. Oh, come on, get off of me. Onto there. Okay. And so I'm going to use my take your pick tool and just pick up those pearls and put them on there. Turn this around, go that way, and there we are. Okay, now we're going to put this on with dimensionals. That's glued and dried enough. And let's see, I think I want some small ones and some large ones. Where's my, my large ones are right in front of my face. Okay, so I'm going to put the large ones down here. And here. And I can probably put a big one in there. Now, because these are the same height, I can add one to here, one to here, and I can put a big one up here. Perfect. Okay, let's put this on our card. Enough dimensionals? It's not going anywhere, that's for sure. Okay. So we're just going to add this to the front of our card. Oh my goodness, I know what I did wrong. Before I put that on, I'm going to pull this dimensional off, guys, because this one sticks up above my card. I just pulled part of my card off too. It sticks up above this layer. So if you're going to put a dimensional on there, you want to put a little one down towards the bottom. Okay, now we're ready. Okay, so I'm just going to attach this, leaving a little bit of space there at the bottom, and see how it goes right there perfectly. And oops, you know what, guys? I put this too far out. Yeah, I did. It's not centered. Okay, so when you do this, make sure it's centered because it's too far out. So you know what I'll do? I will, where's my little flower? I should have a little flower. I'm going to put my little flower there so it looks like it was intentional. So if you do that, then it'll look like it was intentional for it to be there. Okay, so we're going to put our two leaves down because there is a flower on the inside of that. Oh, and it's supposed to be on that side anyway. Oh, I should put this one down first, probably. Okay, so I put glue on the back of those. And then I'm going to put this on with a glue dot instead of with glue. And I'm letting my white show through the center because I'm not going to put a pearl on there because of the closing, because it's on the inside. So now it looks like there's something on the inside to open it for. So if you do what I did, that's one good way to make it look like it's supposed to be. So thanks for joining me today. I hope you've enjoyed these cards, and I will see you soon. Bye-bye.